Hello, what's up, and welcome everyone. My name is Miss Quinn, and I never thought I'd be talking about politics around here. Well, not necessarily anyway, but yes. However, before I begin, I do want to ask to please keep the comment section respectful, guys. That is literally all I will ever ask for. Now, we all know that in Nintendo Direct, they announced that the Switch 2 will be available for pre orders on April 9, which is only a few days away at the time of writing this. It's actually today is April 7th. But anyway, although it has now been delayed to an actual unknown date after President Trump has announced the new tariffs. Pre orders for Nintendo Switch 2 in the US will not start April 9, 2025, in order to assess the potential impact of tariffs and evolving market conditions. Nintendo will update timing at a later date. The launch date of June 5th, 2025 is unchanged. Now, we all know that the pre orders for the Switch 2 were highly anticipated. This was a gaming console that a lot of people were having their eye on. At least we know that the pre-orders will most likely still happen, but we're just not completely sure of when they're going to happen. But what a lot of people are not understanding is that this is not just a Nintendo issue. The issue is going to seriously impact both Sony and Microsoft as well. It's not only going to impact Nintendo. Because if you really think about it, guys, just think about it. How many things do we really play on? Yes, we have consoles, but we also have VR sets. Let's not forget PC gaming. And many of us also use our phones to play games. I myself have 12 different mobile games, even though I haven't really used 3 of them, and one of them is basically unusable. Anyway, my point is that this is not just about the Switch 2, even though this is where we're honestly being told first that it will impact. Now, I bet some of you are saying, Quinn, how the heck is this even going to, affect Microsoft if they're an American company? Now, Microsoft is an American company, yes, but many of the products that they use in order to make their consoles and to make their games are from other countries. They're not from here completely, which they will have to also be shelling out the tariffs, which will in turn have us pay way more in order for that product. We're already seeing video game prices climb up to $80, $90, and soon we can be seeing an even more increase in pricing, like how people are saying that the, Grand Theft Auto 6 might end up coming out to $100. I can definitely see that being more and more possible considering what we're now looking at here. Now, I bet you're thinking, Quinn, well, why can't Nintendo just open up a spot here in the US? Well, I'm glad you asked, but more than likely you didn't. You see, it will most likely take roughly, let's just say for an example, 5 years to open up a factory here, okay? This is not including that they are still going to need to work on building up their supply chain, okay? Supplies that, mind you, would also be affected by the tariffs, since they would need to get it from our good old friends from across the pond. Then, not to mention, they'll need to find new employees and train them in order so they can properly operate their new factory. Yes, it'll create new jobs for people over here, but it'll be at such an expense to them that they'll later charge us so much in order for them to semi-even it out. Although, let's just be honest, I doubt that many people are going to be able to shell out the money if it gets more and more expensive in order to get these games. Yes, people might care about all these big companies, but what about these indie companies and people who spent years upon years on a game to only be hit by tariffs? When you put your game on a certain platform that unfortunately will be blocked by these certain tariffs, it is very, if not, I don't know, it just seems very horrible. It doesn't seem like a good idea, in all honesty. Now, of course, we are holding out, and by we, I mean a lot of other countries are holding out to see if the tariffs are going to stick, or if he's actually going to be pushing later date or something. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but things are up in the air right now. And if you think about it, guys, if people right now hardly want to spend the money to, like, let's just say buy us like $80 game, because of the way, like, what's going on right now, everything is getting much more expensive. We literally have to nickel and dime everything that we're spending our money on. Like, eggs are super expensive right now. So, honestly, the way that I'm seeing it, people are going to be most likely looking at it as, okay, do I want to buy this game that is most likely not going to be coming out in a finished, polished state as I want it to come out? And am I going to get enough entertainment out of this game and enough playability out of this game for it to overshadow the fact that I'm going to be putting it over these objects here? I don't know. It's just something that a lot of people are going to be, really thinking about. I mean, video games, after all, is a luxury object, just like tattoos are honestly just something it's a luxury thing. The same thing about video games and all these other hobbies. It's out of luxury. It's not out of necessity. And luxury, I don't mean like, oh, you have all these fancy like gaming rooms. No, they're considered luxury items because they're things that you don't need, but they are things that you do want. That is ultimately what I do mean about luxury items. The tattoo industry is honestly already going down. There is not that many people wanting to be tattooed for the simple fact that, yes, people are like, oh, well, tattoos are way too expensive. Well, video games is like also an expensive hobby when you get down to the nitty gritty of it. It's a pretty expensive hobby. You got consoles that sell about roughly like, let's just say $625. That's what I paid, after taxes and everything. Then you have video games that add on another $70 to $80 from that. And then you have like controls, you have external hard drives. And let's not get into the whole PC thing where a lot of the parts for PCs are already so expensive and they're getting more expensive. And with these new tariffs, they will be getting even more expensive as the time goes on. Whatever the case is, I will be keeping my eye to the ground and, well, no, I said that so much in reverse. I will be keeping my ears to the ground and eyes on the news so I can see more of what's going on. This kind of does scare me because the only thing I'm thinking about is layoffs. More people are going to be losing their jobs. And you guys know how I feel about layoffs. In all honesty, I really don't like layoffs. If people can keep their jobs and, be happy and feed their families, I love that. But do I consider that as a plausible one? But do I consider that as a plausible option and as something that is definitely going to happen? No, I think if anything, I definitely think that people are going to be losing their jobs massively with these new tariffs because a lot more companies are going to have to pay more, meaning that they are going to restrict on where they put a lot of their money into. And unfortunately, that means employment as well. Employment and just raising up the prices, and that's going to make people not want to buy at their stores. Anyway, you guys get what I'm saying. I understand that the tariffs in the long run are so we can focus on buying local products, and which is honestly, that is great. However, when a lot of our stuff is imported goods, that isn't really good. It's a 50-50 in all retrospect. But hey, let me know what you think, like in the comment section down below about the tariffs hitting the gaming industry. It's going to hit them hard, guys. It's going to hit everybody hard, not just the gaming industry. Please let me know what you think about in the comment section down below. I'm shaking because I'm so cold. But please, guys, remember, keep the comment section as respectful as you can put it in. For those of you who don't know, I do have a second channel. It's a gaming channel. I will link it in the description down below, or I will put it here in a little card. I am currently editing a video for Assassin's Creed Shadows and also a video of the game Tell Me Why. And also going to be editing another video. Guys, I have a lot to be editing aside from this and, my other channel. I also edit videos for TryRogue95. Oh my god, I'm so cold. Anyway, that's it for me. I'm cold. I'm going to go drink hot chocolate And like I said, please keep the comment section respectful, guys. That is all I will ever ask for. 20 likes on this video, 20 likes, and I will go see Snow White or the Minecraft movie. You can tell me which one I need to watch. But 20 likes and I'll see one of those movies. Bye-bye.